Well, we meet again. Good morning, and thank you for joining us on the Morning Brunch. I'm Renee Skinner.
And I'm Nathan Kitchens.
Here's what's on the menu for today's brunch. We're taking a look at our favorite stories from the day. Then we'll introduce you to today's pet of the week. She's a cutie.
Oh, she's so cute, so friendly. She was walking around the studio. I got to pet her.
She was a cute one. Yeah. And what else?
Well, again, how did I forget? In our last bite, we will have a look at our weather forecast.
That's okay. We want to forget the weather, too, because it's going to be cold soon, but tomorrow will be nice.
We got one nice day to look forward to, so
absolutely. Yes. Okay. Well, let's begin with what's on my plate. There's been lots of talk about GLP-1s lately, seen as the magic weight loss drug. But are GLP-1s really all the craze made to be on social media? Ozempic, Mounjaro, and more have taken America by storm as the magic weight loss drug. These drugs are nothing new, but are they really as magical as social media is making it? For people who can't take them, they saw amazing results. But at what cost? Women are reporting side effects such as nausea, headaches, and more. Experts say lifestyle changes are key to the medication success, but long-term effects of this medication are still unknown. Ooh. So this story stuck out to me because a couple of days ago, I was looking at a celebrity who was on Ozempic, and it was like a before and after photo. And the before photo was this celebrity. She was curvy. She, had rosy cheeks. It was the before photo. Then the after photo was her. She was really thin, but she had like a bigger forehead. And so, of course, people were pointing that out, and they were saying, oh, it's Ozempic face, it's Ozempic face. Now, I don't know if that was true. That photo could have been doctored for all I know. But it's interesting that we don't know the side effects yet, but so many people are just so desperate to lose weight, to do anything to slim down, that we are resorting to medications that we don't know are really healthy for us. So that's interesting, but I can see, and I can't talk because, I'm being a hypocrite if I don't say this. I've tried the shot, and I could not do it consistently because it was so tedious getting the shot together, making sure there aren't any air bubbles in the liquid that you insert into the syringe, making sure you don't poke it in the same spot on your stomach. And there are just tedious instructions to it, and it just gets frustrating. And whenever I get frustrated, I just got to give up. So I would like to, if I can tone up and get healthier, I would just like to do it naturally. And that may take longer, and I'm okay with that. As if it falls off naturally, I feel like the weight loss will last longer. I won't just gain it all back, as quickly as some people do when they do lose weight. So this is an interesting topic. Our very own Austin Feeman did a special report on GLP-1s. We ran it all this morning. And if you want to check it out, log on to our website, ciproud.com.
Yeah. Austin had a really good story on that. And which one in particular were you on? Was it Ozempic, Wegovy?
It was a GLP-1.
Okay.
That's all it was. Well, not Ozempic, not under like a specific brand.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I had a cousin who was on Ozempic, and she lost, I think, almost 100 pounds.
Wow.
A couple years ago, and she looks so good. I think a lot of people are willing to take the risk, even though they may not know what the side effects fully are yet, because things are so new. But I know for her, it just made her. Obviously, her self-esteem just went way up. Because she was so proud of how she looked, and I think a lot of people, it's tough to even get your hands on these things because. I think insurance will only cover it if, I think you have to have diabetes. If you don't have diabetes, then they're not going to cover it for you. Yeah. And they're really, really expensive. So it's tough for a lot of people to get their hands on it, but those who can, I've heard, obviously, the mixed results. Yeah. Some people, it's been like a miracle worker. Other people, it doesn't work so well, or maybe it's difficult to apply it.
Absolutely. And I think you do have to make those lifestyle changes. You can't expect it to happen overnight. Yeah. You didn't put on the weight overnight, so it's not going to fall off overnight. But I noticed that my appetite was more tamed when I did take the shot. But again, it's just, do I want needles pricking me in my little tummy? No. So, but yeah, so interesting. But what is on your plate, sir?
So my plate today, we're talking about the drought and the water shortages here. So we have in the city of Sullivan, which is downstate, southeast of Decatur, they are extending their mandatory conservation for another 3 months, despite it initially planned to end on Sunday. So the public health commissioner says the amount of water people are consuming hasn't decreased at all, and the aquifer levels are still nearly 16 feet lower than they were at the start of the drought. Chuck Woodworth says that he once again is telling residents to, if our prompter will move forward.
Sorry.
Oh, you're good. Residents to reduce the amount of water they use at home, saying that if the amount of water that they pump goes down, it'll give the aquifer a chance to recharge over the next few months. And if not, he says that the restrictions will only get tighter. Woodworth is asking residents to cut down on dishwasher and washing machine use, take shorter showers, and even get low flow faucets. This story, as a meteorologist, stuck out to me. The aquifer is 16 feet lower than where it was when the drought began, which is really scary. We've continued to see this trend below normal rain and snow across our area, and that's really led to this drought that really got going last summer and fall. It just has continued to intensify and not improve. So you probably can visually see that if you look at area lakes. We were talking about earlier, probably a month ago, about I think Bloomington, Lake Bloomington, and there's another lake there that they get a lot of their water from in McLean County, running a good 10 feet below average, and it reached that threshold where they need to start conserving water there as well. So this has been a widespread issue that's been talked about. Now the good news is, as a meteorologist, I am seeing a really promising sign that we're going to get a lot more moisture over the next few weeks. That may be enough to ease some of the concerns that we have, but definitely important that people continue to conserve water. It's little things. It doesn't have to be, you know, dramatic changes in your life, but just shortening your showers a little bit and just keep the water off as much as you can. Like when you're brushing your teeth, you know, have it on as short of a time as possible to try to conserve in every little way that you can. So the drought obviously is still a big concern as we see those really low water levels out there.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when there were drought conditions in Denver, and I just remember my dad getting so mad because our grass turned yellow.
Oh, yeah.
Or we couldn't like water the lawn like we were supposed to, and he just got so mad at that. But you really, really, really have to watch yourself when you're under a drought and when you're under, you know, conditions like that. I mean, a fire could start if it's dry enough. So
absolutely.
Yeah, and then too, I never really realized that I leave the water on when I brush my darn teeth. Like I do
a lot of times too, and I still do right now, even though I know I should be keeping that in mind. You know, we're in a drought, but yeah, there are little things you can do to help out.
Absolutely.
And at least we're not in the summertime where people are worried about their yard looking green.
Yeah.
Obviously it's winter, so all the grass is dormant right now, so it all looks brown. But I know how it is. I remember in the movie, I think it was a Cinderella story. You probably remember that movie
remember
with
that
Hilary
movie.
Duff, and I love that movie. But I remember their yard was always so green, you know, and of course this is Southern California. All the yards were brown because they were in a drought.
Yeah.
But of course she said green. I forget what the way she said brown grass is for poor people, I think is the way she worded it.
Oh my gosh.
Their yard was so green, and then they showed like an aerial shot, and everything else is just brown.
It's been a minute since I've seen that movie, but I do love Hilary Duff. But yeah, that's funny. I don't think poor people are for brown grass. I don't know about that.
No.
But yeah. All right. Well, we're going to take a commercial break right now, but we'll be back with a lot of topics to talk about.
Yes.
Don't go anywhere. All right, we are supposed to go to our pet of the week, but I don't know if that is in or not. Doesn't look like it. Oh, can we go to the pet of the week? Yeah.
Well, hello everyone. I have Kitty Yanko here with me from the Peoria Humane Society. We have a very pretty girl with us today.
We do. We brought her from PCAPS. Her name is Khalees, I guess.
That's a pretty name.
It is. And she was actually found as a stray. They think she's around 5 years old, and she's kind of known to be the sweet girl in the adoption kennel.
So here's the nice thing about adult animals in general. What you see is what you get.
That's what I've always said.
When you meet her at the shelter, you'll know what her personality is, and she might be a little withdrawn just a little bit because the shelter is a different environment than being at home. So she might change a little bit once you adopt her, but We haven't quite figured out if she knows how to sit yet. We're still figuring that out, but.
We are, but you know, it's hard when you don't know their backstory. But I will say that she walks pretty good on a leash. She's happy to meet people. I mean, overall, she seems to be a sweet, good dog.
She was very excited to meet people when she walked into the building.
She was,
Yes.
and so she's a people person, but you know, we don't know exactly how old she is. They're guessing around 5. So.
Yeah.
And you know, she, like you said, this is going to be her size. This is her temperament. She's been at the shelter a little bit, and she's kind of starting to get sad. So I wish that she would get a home soon.
And the other, I guess, positive thing you could think of it as with an adult dog, they've had all of their puppy care taken care of. So they just need their annual care. And it's likely that she's in good health. I mean, the shelter hasn't noticed anything.
No, they haven't. And it's, you know, the nice thing is PCAPS includes so much in the adoption fee, so she's going to be ready to go with, you know, very little, you know, soon visits to the vet, hopefully.
She's likely already spayed at the age of 5 years old. If she's not, she will be. And if she's not already microchipped, she will be by the time she's adopted, because that is all taken care of. She's finding something really good to just sniff over here.
Hey, you.
Can you come back over here?
What are you doing? Let's go see the camera. Oh, my goodness.
She's such a pretty dog. I mean, she
is a
really
good
is.
girl.
So if you would like to adopt this sweet little angel or any of the other, yeah, get your good side. Get your good side there. If you would like to adopt her or any of the other animals, you can contact the number on your screen, 672-2440, and you can find this interview on ciproud.com.
All righty. Moving on to the topics we've got planned to talk about. It seems women aren't the only ones concerned about how they look. More men are going under the knife. Liposuction was the most popular plastic surgery in 2024, with more than 21,000 procedures being performed on men. In the U.S., surgeons say cosmetic work is no longer seen as vanity, but as optimization, like fitness or grooming. The doctors say younger men are coming in concerned about jawline and chin definition. I don't know what that video was. And those in their 40s up to their 60s focused on tightening skin.
I wish I looked like that.
Me too, and restoring structure. Plus, rapid weight loss from GLP-1 drugs like Ozempic and Zepbound has increased demand for male contouring procedures.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, liposuction would be cool. I mean, I feel like there is like summer fat you just cannot get rid of no matter what.
Yeah.
That if I had the money, that would be great. But
Really?
I don't know. I know like a news anchor who he's like 80 and he's still doing the news, but he had plastic surgery and all that, and he's so proud of it, and he looks great.
Really?
And it worked out really well for him. You know, really reduced his wrinkles. He looks amazing for his age, and looks very youthful.
I think I would want a maybe a facelift sometime in my life, but I don't know, you just have to really take a gamble on that, because I've seen some people who have plastic surgery and it just doesn't look right. It looks like plastic.
I see some of these Hollywood actors, I'm like, no, you look so much better before.
Yeah, and I don't think they realize that sometimes. So I don't know. It's interesting that men are starting to, you know, care about their appearances more so. Maybe that speaks to society and how we've got a problem with appearances and our beauty standards.
I think that's
and I
a big
could go
part.
on and on and on and on and on.
Oh, yeah.
But, you know, I don't know. I think it's interesting. But if you want to get work done and you can afford it and it's safe, then that's your life. That's your business.
Absolutely. I'm not here to judge, so.
Yeah. You want to take this one?
Absolutely. If you needed any more confirmation that you're getting old, this one tends to show up when you're not expecting it. Ear and nose hair. Yes, it is a thing, and no, you're not imagining it. So why does that happen as we get older? It comes down to hormones. Scientists say that there are 2 main types of hair on the body. Vellus hair, the fine light peach fuzz that most of us have, and then terminal hair, which is thicker, darker, and much more noticeable. And as we age, experts say that prolonged exposure to androgens, a group of sex hormones, can change how certain hair follicles respond, and over time, follicles in ears and nose, this B-roll, I tell you, may become more sensitive, causing that hair to grow thicker, darker, and faster. So if you have ever looked in the mirror and you thought, when did that show up? Now you actually know why. So.
Wow. Okay. Do you care to talk about nose hairs?
Well, I definitely have nose hairs. I will look in the mirror in the morning. I'm like, how did that show up? I actually had to buy a nose hair trimmer, not nose, nose hair trimmer recently. I think it's called like a weed whacker or something.
A weed
I don't
whacker.
remember. I got it at TJ Maxx. And they always have the most interesting stuff there, but it works really good to get rid of those annoying nose hairs. So they just poke out. I guess that's a sign I'm getting old. So
no, I don't think so.
no, my ears, I don't care. I've never pulled hair out of my ears. I don't care how my ears look.
I remember my grandfather had that bad. He'd have little gray hairs growing out of his ear.
Oh.
I remember as a kid, my mom would embarrass me. She'd be like, "Do I have the hair of my nose? Do I have hair of my nose?" Huh? And I'd be like, why do that? Why, Mom? It was so embarrassing. So I know I'm probably going to get to that point where, I mean, I feel like I've got a little, you know, peach fuzz.
A little peach fuzz. It happens to all of us. It happens to the best of us.
Yeah, I have to pluck sometimes in the morning and it hurts. So I don't want our viewers to see my shadows. So, but I think as you grow older, your body changes and things grow where they shouldn't.
They should. Yeah, that was one of the things. And I think Sophia Petrillo mentioned this in Golden Girls. That as you get older, that's one thing, sign you're getting older, you start to grow a beard.
Yep.
Of course, a little bit of sarcasm there.
That is so true.
Some people, their hormones are a little off, and you'll see, you know, that they, you know, so everybody's different.
Absolutely.
Some people might be lucky and they never have to worry about it, you know.
I wish I were one of those people. But anyway, this story is getting lots of attention on social media. A woman on TikTok recently went viral when she asked another mom to pay $15 for expenses after their children's play date. Her name is Brianna, and she shared her story with her followers. People were outraged that a mom would ask another mom for cash, since what goes around comes around, as in one day I pay for snacks and drinks for your kid, the next time you got it. But after the backlash, Brianna finally put an end to things. She said the whole thing was a joke, and she didn't ask for anyone for money. She just wanted to make a point that play dates can be expensive.
Amen.
I don't know about this. I don't feel right being like, hey, I spent $5 on a McDonald's kids meal. You got it? Can I have it back? I wouldn't feel right about that.
No, I would feel really dirty doing that.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just do things for others, and it's to be expected.
And I think if your kid is playing with another kid and they're in your responsibility, they're, you know, in your presence, it's just going to come with the territory. Of course, kids are going to get hungry. Of course, you're going to have to give them a snack and, you know, do all that. So I wouldn't be charging. That's kind of mean.
No.
Yeah.
That's a little crazy. Those suburban mamas, you got to watch out for it.
Oh, you sure do, buddy.
Well, a study is proving aging gracefully is not as easy, and it doesn't come cheap. This is mainly true for women. Men get a gray beard and a belly, and they're suddenly distinguished. So women over a certain age, they're spending thousands just to get called brave. According to a recent study, women over 45 spend an average of $1,800 a year on aging-related beauty. Think hair dye, skin care, cosmetic tweaks, all just to look natural. So is this still due to society pressure? Probably. Is it perhaps something that women do simply for themselves, or is it a little bit of both?
I think it's both. I think there's a lot of pressure on women to look a certain way, to act a certain way, and I think oftentimes we just cave. And I don't know. I don't know how it's going to get better unless you see more inclusivity when it comes to women in public spaces and in society. So I don't know. I could see why, though. I'm trying to think. I was teased about something when I was a kid, and I thought as soon as I get older, I'm going to change that. I can't think of it, but you know, to each his own, but you have to do it for you. I don't want people to, you know, change their appearance drastically just because, you know, someone else is saying, oh, you need to look like this. You need to look like a twig like this. No.
And it's this age of social media that we're in. All these influencers, quote unquote, that people follow, and they think you know, all these filters out there, and people think people look a certain way, but they really don't in real life.
Yeah.
And people feel pressure like, oh my goodness, she's 50 or she's 60 and she looks this way, and I'm only 40 and I look like this, and I'm ashamed. And
I've had that before. I can't deny I've had that thought. Speaking of like no makeup or just looking natural, I put this app on my phone that can detect if someone's trying to break into your phone, and it takes a picture, right, of the person who's trying to get into your phone. So I got an alert that said, oh, someone tried to break into your phone. You want to know who it was?
Ooh, let me guess.
It was me without makeup. It was me without makeup. Oh my God, and I was scared. I was like, someone tried to break it. No,
it was
it's
just
me. It's me. All right. Well, so, love yourself for who you are. Be all natural without makeup, and, don't try and scare yourself like I did. But we're going to take a break. We'll be right back after this.
Welcome back as we come to a close. Here's your last bites. Of course, starting off with the joke of the day. What happens when a frog parks illegally?
He gets towed.
You got it. I figured you would get this one.
Yes, baby. I am in the house. You're feeling froggy, Nathan?
I'm feeling froggy today.
Why don't we jump into that forecast?
Let's jump into it, literally. All right, so we've got 46 degrees for our high today. Clouds will gradually start to clear. We'll see some sunshine later on. Overnight tonight, we'll drop back to the low 30s. Skies will be clear, and we've got lots of sunshine on the way for tomorrow. We'll just kind of focus on tomorrow because tomorrow's a really nice day, sunshine, 66 degrees, but then it's going to start to change this weekend. Saturday's not bad, but then Sunday we've got a chance of snow, mainly for the late part of the day into early Monday. That could be maybe several inches of snow. We'll see how that paves out, but then after that we'll be seeing more rain chances and slowly rising temperatures as we go deeper through next week.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I was getting so nice to this weather, but just gotta go with the flow.
It is. Well, we're just 22 days from spring, so.
That's gonna make a difference.
I know, it's not that far.
It's still gonna snow. All right, thank you, Nathan. That's all the time we have for you this morning.
Have a great day. We will see you tomorrow.